All right, so it's time that I talk about this. There's been a lot of reports recently about Bill Peters and Mike Babcock, and we're going to talk about that now that it's pretty much set at this point. In this scenario, Bill Peters was fired from the Calgary Flames. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe, and let's take a look at this situation. So, the hockey world is under a dark cloud right now, unfortunately, due to recent allegations. Ever since Mike Babcock is fired, there's been a whirlwind of activity on these situations. There's been investigations thrown out, and I kind of wanted to wait to make this video just so we knew as much information as we were going to get in this scenario, and I think we have a pretty good idea of what's going to be happening. As you know, we've seen a result of this. Action has been taken by the Calgary Flames, and we'll get into that. So starting things off, Mike Babcock fired by the Toronto Maple Leafs about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago now, and the Leafs decided that some information was going to get out. Now, I don't know who got this information out of Toronto, but basically Mike Babcock went up to then rookie player, phenom Mitch Marner, and asked him to make a list of the hardest working players on the roster, ranking them from least hardworking to hardest working. Not a great spot, not a great way to introduce a player to your locker room, nonetheless, by Mike Babcock. It's really a sad situation. It's really just, I don't get it. Again, hockey culture is what it is. What's in the hockey locker room stays in the locker room. But this is unacceptable. It puts a rookie, nonetheless, in a very vulnerable, uncomfortable situation. And for a game that's trying to be, open and things like that, this is really not a great look for the NHL. Throughout the entire country, throughout the entire hockey world, it definitely tarnishes things a little bit, and it's really not a great look for the league. So that comes out. Then, basically, since this situation, we see the result that Mitch Marner and Matt Martin, who had a very good relationship with Mitch Marner, basically brothers together, and Matt Martin actually went to Mike Babcock and actually had a talk with him. It was more of a confrontation, and it ended up leaving Matt Martin up in the press box for the rest of the season, and it was eventually resulted in him moving back to the Islanders to play with the Islanders. I just think he was fed up with Mike Babcock, and to a degree, he was probably right. You have to wonder, looking back, especially for Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner has since confirmed this rumor. So again, that just shows you it is true. Marner did confirm it, and you wonder if this had anything to do with the contract talks. Why Marner was hesitant to sign with the Leafs. Austin Matthews not taking a discount. These guys not taking discounts because they knew, well, if I'm going to be here, I love the market. I love the Leafs, but I really don't like the guy behind the bench. Looking back, maybe a little bit of a, if Kyle Dubas knew he would have been getting rid of him at this point, he probably would have done it before all these contract situations. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter now at this point for the Leafs, but nonetheless, a tough situation overall. So since then, Mike Babcock is fired. Then Akeem Alou comes out on Twitter basically saying that, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, basically meaning Bill Peters. Bill Peters actually commented on Akeem's music, rap music or whatever it was, and, saying turn off that N-word music. And that's really not fair either. That's whether it was 10 years ago, tomorrow, yesterday, it doesn't work. And you know what? I get it. It is what it is. It's words, whatever. The problem as horrible as what he said is, the worst part is, after that situation, Akeem did talk to Bill Peters, and Bill Peters pretty much exiled him. He benched him. He sent him to the East Coast Hockey League, and Akeem was never heard of again. A pretty highly thought of prospect at the time as well. It doesn't help Akeem that, since then Anson Carter has come out and said that Akeem did have a little bit of a reputation for being a little bit out there and a little bit, he's very, he's got a very big personality, a little bit of an ego, and it may have hurt him in this situation. He waited a long time to come out with this. Why did he wait till now? I think he just was waiting for a time where it was the most relevant. It's one of those things. It's a tough situation either way. But Bill Peters, it's not a great look. So this comes out. Now, mind you, the Calgary Flames are having issues to begin with, so this wasn't, it's never a good time, but it also doesn't help that timeline a week before this all goes down. Brad Treliving says, we're not moving any players, we're not moving any management personnel, nobody's moving. And then within a week, this comes out about Bill Peters, his head coach. So not a great look there for Treliving. He just wanted to let these guys figure it out themselves. Well, it was kind of forced upon him at that point. So now there's an entire investigation going down. The Calgary Flames, Brad Treliving did a very good job handling this situation. People want it done quickly and things like that, but in the terms of law, you have to go through a thorough investigation, not based off allegations, and assuming you have to go through the proper precautions. So that's what the Calgary Flames did, as well as the league. Some more digging and things like that. It eventually came out that Michael Jordan, a former player, no, not the Michael Jordan in basketball, but another Michael Jordan I believe he's been playing in Europe, when Bill Peters was in Carolina, back when he was the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes. He basically had a physical altercation with Michael Jordan. Actually, multiple cases were reported. He smacked a player on the head, as well as he kicked the back of Michael Jordan on the bench. So not a great look there for Bill Peters. So not only have we seen this N-word thing come out from Akeem Alou, but now Michael Jordan has come out, as well as another player that did not want to be, the information given out, a unanimous player in Carolina. There's been some questions about who that player may be, but they have not come out officially, so kind of leaving it at that. But yeah, it's not a great look there. Peters has also come out since then and given an apology, and I believe it was Thursday night before the game against the Buffalo Sabres. That was an emotional game for the Calgary Flames on Thursday. They ended up winning that game, and Friday morning, we get the information that Bill Peters was fired from the Calgary Flames. So it was inevitable. It was a matter of time. I was kind of waiting to make this video so that way we had a little bit more detail, and inevitably when Peters would be fired. He was officially fired, and that's it for Bill Peters. This is maybe a good thing for the Calgary Flames. They've really struggled. There's been talk about Johnny Gaudreau getting traded and things like that. So it's not a great situation for Calgary right now. So it's not the worst thing in the world. It's definitely going to affect Bill Peters and his family. So, we got to remember this is a human being, and, dancing on his grave, as well as Mike Babcock's a couple weeks ago. It's not really fair. It's the way the hockey world works. It's business. Guys get fired all the time. We kind of forget the human element to this situation. But, obviously, I think, I believe Bill Peters should get a second chance. I don't know what team is really going to be willing to do that. I think he's going to be better fit in an assistant role. But even then, I don't know if teams want that possibly toxic culture that Bill Peters has kind of put on himself. So definitely a tough situation for Peters. These allegations, we see it throughout our entire society. That's the world we live in today. Whether it's right or wrong, it is what it is. And we find ourselves where we are today. So let me know. I've had to do a bunch of retakes on this video. It's hard to describe and really show how I feel without going to one side or the other. But let me know in the comments what you think of these allegations and the way the hockey culture is today. Leave it in the comment section down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.